Hey there, major miners and minor miners. Welcome back to Bryland. In today's episode, we get a lot done, we sing a song, and even give you a super secret hidden view. Hey there, Brylanders. I want to sort of give you guys a little bit of a view of the continued terraforming project. This is more of an expansion of the cemetery crater project that we've already started, and all of the rivers and lakes and everything that is requiring is causing me to move on and to change little parts of the island as we go. So I want to give you guys sort of a preview of what this thing is looking like before I cut in and out, and just show you little improvements and changes along the way. So this is where we are starting right now. Just like at the end of the last episode, we've got the lake cut out. We've got the cemetery covered up with dirt and with grass. And we're going to move on to closing some things off, opening some things up, adding some water, and maybe even doing something with some more craters. So I'm excited to share with you guys what's going to happen next. Stay tuned here, and you'll see the changes as we go. Fading back in, here we go. You can see here that I haven't touched the grave, but what I have done is, for sort of my first step, is I've closed off some of the craters so the crater's not so big, so I can put some more trees and whatnot about it. I have removed all the lava. You guys probably noticed that even in an earlier episode from around here, because I can't be putting leaves and trees and wood around because it will catch fire. So I am going to be replacing that here in this next step. I'm going to put glowstone under here and water above it to still give it sort of that look. And then also, you've noticed I've dug out more water holes here. I guess dug out would be the loose term. I've added dirt down underneath to sort of create another pond area. So I'm trying to add more accents and ponds to the entire island and hills and changes, and this is just part of the steps. So here in this next clip, I'm going to close off more of the crater so you can't just see through and it looks like just a hollow piece through the island. So I'm going to close that off some of there. And the reason I'm doing that is, even though it will make the inside seem a little bit smaller, it'll help me accomplish what I'm trying to do here. And you guys will see as we go. Even though I'm going to be sacrificing a lot of my storage space from where I was going to put my treasury, I'm okay with that because this is going the direction that I want it to. So you guys will see I'll taper some of this off here underneath the island to make it look a little more natural on this lip that I've created. Yeah, so let me just make some changes and we will cut back in so you can see even more of what we've done. Okay, next phase is done. I just used a ton of dirt, but not too much compared to my stash. You'll see I've still got the pyramid blocked off over here just like I showed you. And I have filled in the crater edges to sort of make this look like a hole instead of just a big gaping gash in my island. So now we will add some water. I'm going to probably take you guys along for some of that step. And we'll create a small moat around here. So the plan is to get some water falling from the lake into the crater and then the little moat there. So we'll do that. And of course I'm going to add some water to the pyramid area here and my pyramid pond. But I'm excited about how this is turning out. I'm probably gonna have to go in, maybe take away some of this right here, make this look a little less blocky. But yeah, let's get to the next step. Alright, so here we are. I am going to use netherrock sort of as the base to create my lake. So what you do is you lay all of these down, then you put the water in and dig them out. So let me get ahead of this and I'll show you guys the next step here. Okay, so you'll see that I filled in the little ponds and lakes with the netherrack. That way it's easy to distinguish from all the grass block that I have. So now the trick is to turn these into a lake. So we do that by placing in some water. So we want to create an infinite water source and continue to do that. There we are. Well, I put that in the wrong spot to create me an infinite water source. There we go. That should have created me a block, but it did not. There it is. Voila. So what we do now is just every 2 diagonal, we just put one of these down, and it will begin to fill in my lake perfectly. See that? Creating a nice flat surface. Then we will go in with the pickaxe and remove all the nether rock. So let me fill this all in with water, and we'll do some digging out. And behold, we have ourselves water. So I will show you guys what we do to the nether rock. And when we dig the nether rock out, notice you can definitely see the difference between the nether rock and the grass. But when we dig that out, it will literally just fall down in the water. And we have created ourselves a lake as we chop all this away. That way we only have to make the water 1 block thick. Just gotta remember to go up for air. And netherrack is nice because it digs out just about as fast as dirt does. So that's one reason that I use the netherrack. But that's all you have to do is dig out that surface, and you're in. Haha! So I will dig out this lake and show you guys what it looks like. Well, there it is. I have just dug out all the netherrack, and you'll see that I shut my fountains off. I stole the water to create my sources from these, and I'm actually going to get rid of those. I did not like the way that these created an infinite magical water source and flowed down. I'd rather my water source be the lake. So I'm going to create a flow that comes down from the lake and over the waterfall that goes over the underground cavern. So I'm going to figure out a way to do that along the way. I am going to add sand to this to give it a little more body. You know that I've made this like 4 or 5 deep. It's hard to see that without some other kind of block down there to highlight it like we did on the Pillar Island. I have added the water in around the pyramid. We're going to create some sort of bridge here. But most importantly, first thing we want to do is create our river to get our water down into the, what do you call it? The graveyard. So I am going to, well, once I get back up, I'm going to chip away at the blocks a little bit, add some dirt, and create a flow of water. So I will cut back out so you don't have to watch me do all of that, and we will look at the results. So next time you see this, there'll be water there. Haha! The river has been added. And I've got a little bit of a waterfall already started, so I wanted it to be a smaller waterfall. And I just kind of let the water naturally fall, and then I added a couple blocks. As you can see, wherever the edge of the water was just too flat and vertical. I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't redirect it. I just made it so it didn't look too blocky for falling water. And yeah, this is what it's looking like. Loving it. Put another little island in there because I didn't just like a big open flow. And then I am going to go down and add water for the river, or the moat. It goes around my gravesite. So I'll get that done and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Well, here we go. You can see that I've added the water to the moat here. I've actually added a little bit more dirt to the top, even though I did encapsulate that all. I got the torches down there. I'm thinking about coming up with a more unique lighting situation. Maybe even hang some lanterns in there, but that'll be for another day. We'll take care of most of the lighting on the island probably all at once. So this is how it's looking so far. We've still got to add some accents and some sand to the water. Of course, we've got to work on getting our trees out and all that. And we've got a lot to do with our yard still in front of the house, and making sure that our landscaping is looking a little bit better than that. But I am really liking this. I feel like I'm accomplishing what I set out to do. Remember, here, let me actually back up a little bit. If you guys remember, this was a much more boring sort of flat island, and I've added some height here with our little bit of a hill that leads to the pond right here. And then we've also added a crater, sort of as originally envisioned. So we've got to create a grove of trees like I wanted. And now you'll come up and you'll venture in and you'll see a beautiful pond, and then, oh my gosh, you'll stumble upon a huge crater. Who would have thought that? And then, what's that? A mysterious grave. Woohoo! So, I'm excited, and I've got some really neat ideas that you guys will see along the way here. And that's going to modify my island even more. So let's get to these next steps, put in some of this sand, and even add a little bit of a river, making this an extension of the pond instead of just senseless water flowing from nowhere. So let's do that now. Let me fade out, and I'll cut right back in. Here we are. Looks like I've dug my river out, so I've sort of split it so it'll go down this way and then down into the main waterfall that falls down, and then the other small ones. So the two side ones are caught by the glass that goes around the snow tower. So I just kept all that the same for now. I may change that in the future, I may not. But I'm liking the way that this has worked out so much better than those little fountain things that I had floating here. You could tell that I've taken those out. So let me get some sand in here, and then we will begin working on our grove of trees. I'm excited to put some trees up here. That they always change everything when you begin to put in trees. It just changes the look. And then you'll see also we're going to put in some finishing touches on the cemetery. So this video, as long as I can get everything done, should pretty much conclude most of the cemetery job. And then we can move on to the next project on the island. But first, let's get our sand in. Let's put up our trees and everything. Wow, look how much just one little grave has caused us to change our island. Holy smokes. Wow. Love it. Alright, there you guys go. Now you can see the sand I've added. I didn't add too much. This isn't going to be a sandy pond like on Pillar Island. Just some sand from the wear of erosion. Just a little bit though. That way you can kind of see the depth of the pond better from different angles. And I put some sand over on this side, which you can't see from this angle also. So if you are looking down maybe from the Tower of Elements in the future or something, you can see that also. So the thing that I would like to do right now before I actually implement this is just kind of show you guys my next step as I do it. I'm just going to kind of show you the strategy I'm using. I'm going to create a little bit of a wooden path, maybe a couple stairways, just very short, and make some like short bridges to kind of go across. When I have the grove of trees here, it'll be all pretty and beautiful and everything, but let me kind of show you how I'm doing it. I will put this in, of course, and then this will attach to those, and then you put one of these in. Let's do it like this. Okay, and then you do one like that. So you can kind of see where this is going. So I'm going to make some bridges out of these trap doors. Alright, but I'm going to have to put these so, of course, they open up correctly. But you guys kind of get the gist of what I'm doing. And then the trap doors will go over here on the sides. And then you can use fence gates. Oops. If you do this correctly, well, which apparently is something I am not doing correctly, you can put the fence gates down. Maybe I need to do those first. I've done this before. And then, anyways, those are going to be the handrails. I will get everything placed correctly so you can see kind of the beauty of this. What a bad demo. Yeah. Well, let me put some in and then you guys can see the product. Well, there we go. I figured out what I did wrong. I will create a better tutorial now just so you guys can kind of see the magic of the gate. This is one of my favorite ways to make just a wooden bridge. I'll probably reinforce the bottom so it looks a little bit better down there, but I think it's just a good little pond bridge. I think I want to put one here also going to the next island. So what you want to do is bring it up the one level, okay? And then you can, of course, here we are. I want to get it to the second level. There we are. And then when you put this here, okay, so that gives us our start, as you see there. And you need it to be this high for the trap doors to come off correctly. So they go to the top of the block instead of the bottom of the block. That's why we create it this high. So there we are. Make sure you hold the shift button if you're on PC, so you can place fence posts on top of these. If you don't hold shift, that's what happens. You just use the mechanism. And then I do something a little bit unique here. Instead of just using fence posts to get the look that I want, I use gates. I use fence gates like this. So you got to hold shift. I'm sorry, you just have to make sure you face horizontally so the gate lays correctly. If you do it this way, it goes the wrong way. You got to make sure you face this way. And then you'll see I'll just repeat the step on the other side to create my fun little bridge, my pond bridges. So that'll give it a nice little look. So it's been civilized and lived on. I'll connect this through, add a few more, and we'll begin the trees. Whoa, 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 whoa. We better hold on just a minute, because if I put up all these trees in this grove and I continue on, and I know the original Graveyard Crater project was envisioned to be the grove of trees and the crater and the cemetery down there. But if I continue on, we're losing focus on the cemetery. We've lost focus forever ago, even when we started forming this pond. But we needed the pond to get the water to get to the cemetery. So instead of continuing on and putting all these trees up right now, that should be on another project, like an island reformation project or something. Maybe we'll call that for the next thing. So let's finish up the actual graveyard. So come with me. We better focus this project, or we're gonna get crazy. Before you know it, I'll be building an underground cavern somewhere 30,000 blocks that way and calling it the Graveyard Project. So let's get down here and finish up the Graveyard Project. So I've got an idea. First thing I want to do is make a fence, and I've tried a lot of different ideas for my fence. I've had different materials. I've done stone fencing and everything. I had a really cool concept worked out that I used in my creative world to just kind of give myself a few ideas along the way. And the problem with my concept when I brought it to this world is it just did not work with the island here. So it was great in concept, but not so great in, what's the word I'm looking for, application. It was just way too, I guess too big. That's the wrong word. It was too bulky with the stone on it. It just covered everything up. It got rid of the whole organic feel of what I've got really going on here. So I'm using this fencing instead. So we might change this a little bit by the end of our fun little project here. But I'm thinking we want to sort of simulate a gate right here. There we are. And we can just use this age-old method of creating a gate. That'll be my entrance. Here we go. Voila. Absolutely beautiful. That works. So I found that the best thing for me to do, instead of creating a big, huge, fancy, elaborate sort of stone and iron wall, the better thing for me to do was to just this very simple fence. So I just kind of created part of it earlier, and from up above, it really gave me the look that I was going for. So why ruin simple if simple works? Here we are. All right. What do you think? Should we wrap the fence around back? Maybe a little bit at least? Maybe just a little? There we go. If it works, right? There we are. Looks like we might have the iron for it. There we are. Well, if we're going to make this work and be consistent, we're going to have to move this torch. And like I said earlier in another episode, we might do a different lighting system down here and throughout the island, but we'll probably do all that sort of thing all at once. So we've got our gate and our fencing in. We'll take a look at what this looks like from above in just a minute. But we also have a bridge we need to put in. If we got a gate that just opens up and goes down to nowhere, well, that's not very fun. So the question is, how do we get down here into this beautiful thing that we've created? And that's a question I'm looking very forward to answering as we go, or maybe even down the road. A little bit of mystery. But we need to do something here to get across. So I have an idea. I would like to create a very simple bridge type scenario. And let me just kind of show you what I mean here. We'll create this and that. You know what? Let's go. Let's take that. We might have to go get that. I don't think we're going to need it for this, but let's do this. There we are. We're going to go back and forth just with these two sorts of blocks. And you'll see exactly what we're doing. And I've tried a couple different ideas for this too. So we've got a very simple bridge, right? But we're going to make it more than just a boring bridge. We're going to create some fencing. And the fences are what really holds it up. Now, instead of going into the water, I'm going to make them just float above the water. I might add like a brick on there, not a brick, but a wood slab that goes down to the waterbed floor. I've looked at it both ways, but I think for now this will look good without looking too intrusive on the environment. That's the thing, is I don't want it to. I want it to still look like it's sort of a woodsy little area down here. I don't want it to be all overbuilt. And this fun little sort of not drawbridge, but this fun little bridge that I've created will help retain that look. All right, there we go. Without covering everything up. I'll throw that there, and like I said, I'm just going to go to the surface of the water. Because if I drive these fence posts into the water, it will just clear out the water around it and make like empty space. The other thing that you could do here is take the wood blocks that are holding these fence posts up and drive them into all the way to the floor of the river or pond. But for now, I'm going to do that, because from up top, you won't really be able to tell. It'll have the look that I want, and aesthetics always overcome the function. That's the rule in Bryland, and that's the look I'm going for. I think I picked up that fence piece, did I? Oh, whatever. What am I doing? Here we are. Let's put this here. Good. And this here. Oh, no, we need another fence post. No! Well, I got the sticks to make one, so that won't be a problem. Let's take a quick look up at what we've got going on so far from up above. Wow, got a little jumpy area going on here. There it goes. Ooh, that's looking nice. Let's go up a little bit higher, shall we, together? Let's get just a little bit higher. And I know it's dark out with the nighttime going on here in Minecraft. But yeah, I might move those sticks over a little bit. But this is what the graveyard is looking like so far. We've got our bridge to get to it. The fence is working great, just as it was intended. Ooh, I gotta add one fence block there. And ooh, under that torch too. I'll fix that. But let me do this. I still want to put the foliage and everything down here. But I'm thinking, yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna do that at another episode to tie in with the rest of the island or to stand out. So when we begin adding on the trees and everything, we're going to finish up the foliage here. So for now, we're going to call this pretty much the end of the graveyard project, since this is the exact look I'm going for, other than adding on that fence post. So I appreciate you guys coming out, checking out this video. This has been a lot of exciting changes that we've had going on with everything going on up there with the river and the graveyard and the cemetery. So I'm really, really excited about the way this thing is looking. And the changes that are going to be coming. Booyah. And the reason we're going to do all the foliage and stuff in a separate episode is because I am creating that grove of trees up there, dead serious, very soon. And I don't know if I want the gravestones down here, or not the gravestones, but the cemetery area to blend in, or to be like a completely different type of tree and color and everything down there. That way when you look down, it just really like explodes out, like the details. So yeah, there it is. It's looking great. Excellent, excellent. Thanks again for coming along. Tune in again soon. Hit subscribe and follow along for the videos. I appreciate everything, guys. Last minute changes, looking really good. Come on down, look at my bridge made of wood. Everybody loves all the cool things I've made. Watch out, spoiler alert, watch out, spoiler alert. Gonna make a path, gonna make something secret. Zoom out. Super secret hidden view.